Hey folks, this is Winston again. Just wanted to show you my neighborhood in Las Vegas, in the Las Vegas suburbs. As you can see, nobody's outside. Everyone is always inside their house. Um, Nobody comes out to talk to anybody, and I feel like a anomaly just standing out here because everyone's just locked inside and, nobody ever comes out even to talk to anyone or just to even sit on the porch and relax or have lemonade. I mean, we don't even have a porch here. And of course, a few people are walking their dogs and stuff, and they might say hi to you, but that's it. I mean, nobody ever socializes with you at all. I mean, period. I mean, it's worse than Seattle or Bellingham, Washington. I mean, at least there, people talk to you occasionally, and people there are more polite and if you put in the work, you can meet some people here and there, but here it's like zero, none. Nobody ever talks to you or socializes with you ever. Maybe on the strip, on the Las Vegas strip, it's a little different because people are on vacation there, and they might be more loud and boisterous. But in the Las Vegas suburbs and neighborhoods and strip malls outside the strip, it's completely antisocial. 100% antisocial. Not 99. I mean 100%. I mean just especially, yeah. I mean, nobody socializes you, and when you go out, you never meet people at all, not once. And it feels kind of like taboo and illegal to talk to strangers, like you're breaking the law or something. It's really weird. I mean, there's this super cold wall between people, and especially around the women. It feels super illegal to talk to them like you're breaking the law or something. So it makes me feel like a creep when I try, and it's really, really awkward. And, I got to be honest, this is the most antisocial city I've ever been in. I mean, it was a mistake for my family to move here. I mean, even northern Nevada, like the Reno, Carson City area, is way friendlier than this. I mean, people are more relaxed towards strangers there, but here, not at all. Not at all. Like zero. So I don't know what the problem is here. If anybody knows, maybe you can tell me. I guess you could like meet people in Las Vegas in the local area, like if you go on meetup.com or something, or go to a church. I mean, that's pretty much the only place you can find friendly people in America as an adult. But as you know, I mean, going to a church is awkward, because the people there are very narrow-minded and religious fanatics, and they think the Bible is like God himself. It's crazy. It's totally illogical and brainwashed. And I'm way too open-minded for that. I mean, I believe in a higher power, but I'm not gonna think the Bible is perfect and equivalent to God himself. It's just ridiculous. They're just so narrow-minded in church. And I guess you could go to like meetup.com. There's nice people there, with the different groups and hobbies that you can join, and yeah, it's nice. I've gone to meetup groups before in Seattle, but the thing is, I mean, it requires effort, and my heart just isn't here. It's just, America's just very antisocial, very sexless, dateless, loveless. The women are not approachable at all. They have a cold wall. They think you're a creep if you talk to them. So you can't do anything here. I mean, you can't go out and try to get dates, love, sex, romance. The only thing you can do here is consume and shop and satisfy your cravings for food, which America loves to do. It loves to sell you stuff. That's all America does. It tries to sell you stuff, get your money, turn you into a consumer, and fill you with excess food, and there's nothing else to do. That's all there is to do is consumerism and buying products. But you can't go out and meet people or get a date or obtain sex, love, romance, or even human connection or companionship, because in America, you know, America's sexless and dateless and loveless. So it's like they expect you to already be married and settle down. Like you're expected to marry your high school sweetheart or college sweetheart and settle down, and then for the rest of your life you're a workaholic raising a family, and you don't talk to strangers anymore, because America is not a social place. Not like Latin America or Mexico or Southeast Asia or Eastern Europe. It's not a social place. You're not supposed to talk to people. You're supposed to keep to yourself and be married, and there's nothing to do if you're single, because nobody wants to talk to you. And of course, it's taboo to talk about this, because you're not supposed to talk about this. You're supposed to pretend everything in America is normal and just accept it and act like it's normal and not complain about it and not expose it. So everything I'm saying now is taboo, because you're not supposed to talk about this. You're not supposed to be honest and tell the truth about any of this. So yeah, I just wanted to show you that and give you my little rant there. Anyways, yeah, that's the typical suburbia for you. I've been to different states and cities, and yeah, Las Vegas is the most antisocial, unfriendly place I've ever been. I guess it attracts like the lowest quality people, I guess. It's very similar to California. I'm going to close the garage door now. It's very similar to California. It's just very antisocial, and cliquish, and just in others, not all states are the same. Like in Utah or New Mexico or Idaho. I mean, people talk to you, strangers. Even though it's superficial, you do get superficial small talk in some states like Utah, Idaho, Montana, New Mexico. What I've noticed is that states that are not very popular or very hip, they tend to have friendlier people than places that are really popular and hip, like Las Vegas or Los Angeles or San Francisco. When something's very popular and hip and gets a lot of media attention, it tends to be less friendly than places that are just not popular, like Idaho or Montana or New Mexico. Those places, strangers will chat you up, and it'll be more relaxed and down to earth. But Las Vegas, Los Angeles, no, not at all. Definitely not. I guess I'm giving you a tour of the house too. But yeah, I mean, yeah, if any of you are in Las Vegas or have been here before or have lived here before, maybe you can explain it to me. How are you supposed to meet people? How do you make friends in America if nobody is open or social, and everyone just wants to be left alone? I mean, how do people make friends in an environment like that? I mean, it defies basic logic. It just doesn't make any sense, It's like a huge oxymoron. So I've never understood America, America's never made sense to me. Because if people are antisocial and don't talk to strangers, they don't want to connect with you, how is it that people have friends, or how do people get married or date or find girlfriends? I guess you have to grow up there and develop your own social clique or something, because it doesn't happen naturally. You can't just come out of nowhere into America and make friends or get dates or stuff. I mean, because meeting people doesn't happen organically like it does in other countries. Like it would in Brazil or Colombia or Mexico or the Philippines or Vietnam or something, when you meet people in other countries, it happens organically. Like you saw in my Russia videos and in my Philippine videos, it happens organically and naturally, but it doesn't happen organically here in America. Nothing does. Everything is cliquish and closed, and you're supposed to have your own clique, and you're not supposed to talk to anyone outside of that. And you're not supposed to complain about it either, because you're supposed to see everything in America as normal. You're not supposed to criticize the country. The only thing you're allowed to criticize in America is the government, which is pointless because, the U.S. government doesn't bother me. It doesn't harass me. I don't agree with what the U.S. government does, but it doesn't bother me. I don't have policemen or federal agents bothering me. So why would I want to criticize the government all day like people on YouTube do? It's useless. It doesn't accomplish anything, and it's irrelevant too, because government does not bother me. What I don't like is the social culture. It's antisocial, unfriendly. There's no human connection. It's loveless, sexless, dateless. And you're not allowed to talk about it because you're supposed to pretend like the culture is fine and only the government is the problem. And for some reason, everyone on YouTube does this. But it's completely illogical and pointless. And I don't understand what's wrong with everyone, because that's not where the source of the problem lies. The problem is American culture is antisocial and unfriendly, and it sucks. So I don't get everyone. I mean, everyone's like focusing on all the wrong things. If the government doesn't bother me, why should I bash the government all day like people on YouTube do? It's not the source of my problem. The source of my problem is American culture is antisocial. You don't meet people when you go out. Things don't happen organically or naturally. Everyone ignores you. So yeah, if you've been to Las Vegas or you live here, maybe you can tell me how people make friends or socialize. It just seems completely impossible because everyone is completely closed, like 100% closed, I swear. And nobody ever talks to you. Nobody wants to hang out. Even if you have a polite conversation with a neighbor, that's as far as it goes. They don't invite you in for a beer or a snack or conversation. Nothing. It's like there's a very cold wall between people here, and it's really creepy. And I don't see how people get married or make friends or something. I don't know. Maybe everyone's just often on a different wavelength or dimension than me, or frequency. But it's awkward talking about this because you're not supposed to talk about it. It's you're supposed to pretend everything's normal and that you're the problem. You have to blame yourself in America. You can't say people are antisocial or closed. You have to say that you have to say something like, "Oh, I don't have time to meet people because I work too much," or "Oh, I'm shy. I lack social skills. I don't know how to meet people." You have to blame yourself and say that you're deficient in some way. Either you don't have time, or you don't have social skills, or that you're shy. You're required to blame yourself in America. Even if it's not true, you're still expected to, because, people you're expected to say people are normal. You're not allowed to say that they're antisocial or closed. Even though it's true, you're still not supposed to say it. So it's like you can't be honest and tell the truth. You have to blame yourself artificially, and I don't like that, because it's dishonest. It's a very weird culture. I've never understood it. Even in the 1980s, I've never understood American culture. Everything is just off, unnatural, fake, upside down, and not down to earth. Yeah. I don't know. If anybody here understands American culture, maybe you can explain it to me, because I do not know how to connect with people or make friends with people. Even though I grew up in America, it's just totally alien to me. And in other countries, I don't have this problem as much, except for maybe Northeast Asia. Like my native country, Taiwan, Japan, Korea, those Northeast Asian countries, they're also very closed and cliquish too, and people don't talk to you when you go out. They're very cold. No one flirts in those countries. The women are never flirtatious in those countries at all, period. In Korea, Japan, Taiwan, Hong Kong, they're super cliquish too, like America. But so it's not just America. I mean, Northeast Asia is like that too. It's very, very cliquish and kind of antisocial and cold. People are super cold, ice cold. The women are ice cold in those countries too, just like America. But most of the world is not like that. You go to Mexico, Brazil, Colombia, Philippines, Thailand, Russia, Eastern Europe. I mean, when you go there, you can have all the dates you want. Women are approachable. They love to flirt. They love to meet men. They're enthusiastic about meeting men. And look at all the photos and videos on my website, and you'll see what I mean. I have tons and tons of proof. So the difference is huge. It's there, and I don't see why no one on YouTube dares to talk about this. All they do is bash the government and talk about conspiracies, which is useless. It brings everyone down. It makes you feel bad. It makes you feel powerless to talk about conspiracies, but that's all everyone does. It's useless. America does not like solutions. All America talks about are useless cliches, new age claptrap and banter. All everyone says is, "Oh, you got to learn to love yourself," and "Oh, you got to learn to create your own reality and love yourself and be confident and learn to meditate and take a walk in nature." That's all people say. It's all temporary feel good fixes. I mean, it doesn't solve anything. It just makes you feel good for 5 minutes. To say all that. It's just useless banter and useless cliches. That's all Americans do on YouTube. Nobody has solutions except me. So it's weird. How can I be the only one that has solutions? Which is to get out of the shitty culture of America into a more friendly culture that offers you human connection, love, romance, sex. I mean, all the things you need to make you happy. You can get it a lot easier by getting out of America. That's an obvious solution, but nobody talks about it. Even, what's weird is a lot of Americans, millions of Americans have been abroad since the 1990s when America became very antisocial. Millions of Americans have gone overseas, yet the only people that talk about stuff that I'm talking about is just a small handful. But there should be millions of Americans out there talking about this because millions of Americans have gone abroad. So why is it just me and a small handful of people that talk about this stuff? It's very bizarre. You would think millions would, since a lot of people have been abroad and millions of people have been abroad and they experience what I'm talking about, but nobody talks about any of this stuff. I can't explain it. Maybe somebody, maybe one of you could, or somebody out there, because it totally defies logic and it's very inexplicable. Okay, well, hope you enjoyed my rant and the tour of my house. It's very, very isolating and lonely here, as you can see. I can't wait to get back to Asia. Yeah, nobody talks to you, except for maybe cashiers and waiters, when you go outside. But that's it. It's all business, very superficial and all business. Nobody wants to get to know you or socializes with you. It's all mind your own business. You keep in your space. I keep in my space, Extremely cold and antisocial. By the way, I hate how America has hijacked the word antisocial, because antisocial means you're not social. But for some reason, the media and the psychologists in America, they've hijacked the word antisocial to mean violent. And it should not mean violent, because antisocial just means you're not social. Okay, you're against being social. It should not mean being violent. I don't know why they hijacked that word. It's like they don't want the word antisocial to exist. They don't want people to be thought of as not being open or social or friendly. So they hijack that word and they turn it into violence. And America's obsessed with violence for some reason. I don't know why. They want to turn everything violent, especially on TV and in the media. And that's just stupid because, when you go outside in real life, like in the suburbs or the strip malls, you don't see any violence at all. Everyone's just minding their own business and doing their thing. So I don't know why America's so obsessed with violence. I mean, I guess it keeps you living in fear and brings you down so you can be more easily controlled. That's what the media does, and we all know that, of course, but I don't like how they hijack words like antisocial and turn it to mean violent when what it really means is that people are not social. I guess they don't want anyone talking about this or something. Anyways, okay, I hope you've enjoyed my rant. If any of you live in Las Vegas or or used to live here and know something about it, maybe you can explain to me, why are people so unfriendly and antisocial here? And I mean, it's worse than Washington. It's worse than other parts of this country. I mean, even the north part of Nevada is far friendlier than here. What's wrong with this place? I mean, can someone explain? I mean, I feel like the last survivor in the movie Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Okay. Anyways, thanks for listening to my rant, and bye-bye now.